Hey everyone, it's Bennett Forrest, your fantasy football commissioner, with the first weekly recap of 2014. And we get underway with week one, with, of course, as always, an exciting week of real football, which, of course, translates to a great week of fantasy football. So let's get right into it with the game of the week. Ray Finkel's Kicking Academy defeating the Real Slim Aussies 162-156 in a very, very tight game. Let's take a look at the full box score. This is interesting as it sort of came down to Monday night with opposing running backs basically doing nothing all game and just inching their way on the scoreboard as the night goes on. So coming into the game, the Aussies had a 1-point lead over Ray Finkel with Joique Bell, I guess technically the second string running back for Detroit, but getting plenty of playing time. And Ray Finkel had the opposing running back, Rashad Jennings, for the Giants. As I mentioned a second ago, both running backs started off very slow. It was basically a point here, a point there all game. And then Ray Finkel took the lead for good with about 11 minutes left in the game, as Rashad Jennings had a couple nice plays and a touchdown on a drive. The Real Slim Aussies made it a good comeback as all of a sudden Joique Bell started to get on fire, and he actually scored a garbage touchdown at the end as well with about 4 minutes left. But it wasn't quite enough because Rashad Jennings had a couple late catches, a couple late runs, and pulled away to win by about 6 points, if my math is correct. Yes, 6 points. So interesting to note, and this is one of those things, of course I speak personally as the owner of the Slim Aussies, where if you look at my bench, every single one of my bench players, except Andre Ellington and Andre Williams, scored a touchdown. So I don't know whether to say that's bad luck on the bench and it's a sign of things to come, or if that just means I have a really, really deep team. I'm going to choose the latter as it is week one, and I'm just going to say, hey, I got a deep team and I just got to start the right people every week. But it was, again, good news and bad news with lots of bench points for the Slim Aussies. But alas, the Ray Finkel Kicking Academy get the first victory of the season. Let's move on to the high score of the week, the Chicago Travelers. Obviously just a well-rounded performance. Julius Thomas, going to be a stud tight end for Peyton Manning, of course, in Denver. All around just... good scoring there. Cordero Patterson, as I mentioned, did get picked right before I was planning on picking him. Had a big rushing touchdown, which got a lot of those 24 points. So good first week, obviously, for the Travelers, getting almost 200 points. Not so much for Graceland, the new name for Sarah's team. Of course, Ray Rice on the bench, I believe. Did she already cut him? Or it was the Stallions, I'm sorry. The Stallions have Ray Rice on the bench. But Graceland, I thought she had somebody that got hurt. Anyway, must be thinking of something else. Only 132 points there. Back to the new teams. One of the new teams, Scoop Mares, Be More BPE. I'm assuming that's Baltimore. Not sure what BPE means, but maybe we'll find out as the season goes on. Defeating the Calvinators 151-117. Calvinators, of course, with Tim Wright, the big homer pick of the year, the tight end for the Patriots, had 4 points. Only 3 from Jason Witten, so wouldn't expect that either way. So starting 2 tight ends, only getting 7 points between the two, obviously not going to get it done. And then Doug Martin. Be honest with you, I didn't see much of this game. You would think that Doug Martin would have had more, but what did he do? He had 9 carries for 9 yards, so just doesn't look like the Tampa Bay rushing game got off the ground. So the Calvinators, obviously, with a disappointing 117 points. And Scoop's team cleaned up on the Monday night game with the Matthew Stafford to Calvin Johnson connection. That's one of those live and die by the same 2 people, but if Stafford looks as good as he did last night all season, him and Calvin Johnson are going to have a monster season. So obviously, Scoop's team's looking pretty good there. Only 151 total points, but bodes well with that combination of Stafford and Calvin Johnson. So congratulations to Scoop's team for getting their first victory in the league. Same with Chioma's teams, Chioms, I guess. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Even with Cam Newton on the bench, who did not play, and obviously that's a big no-no. You got to look at the injury report. I think it was Cam Newton was ruled out before the game, so definitely had time to change Cam Newton out for, I guess, Ryan Tannehill. But nonetheless gets 161 points with 2 zeros, one from the Rams defense, one from Cam Newton. So nice, well-rounded effort elsewhere. And she gets both new team members, league members, get wins in the first week of the season. Third in Oolong, tough luck loser a little bit with 150 points. Pretty well-rounded day there, but just gets edged out by 11 points by the newcomer. And finally, we have two veterans of the league, defending champ Catonsville Cartel going down with a league low 105 points. Somerset Stallions had tied for second place scoring for the week. Obviously Ray Rice was out either way, but moving forward, the Stallions are not going to have the services of Ray Rice. So interesting pick there to begin with. But obviously 162 points is pretty nice. Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, that should be a nice 1-2 QB combination for the year. And just looking, not only one person over 20 points, which was Marshawn Lynch in the opener. So, just a well-rounded, even scoring game from the Stallions to get 162 points. And again, defending champion with a big disappointing 105 points. Single points from Ben Tate, Vincent Jackson, Eli Manning, Demaryius Thomas, Keenan Allen, and defense and kicker. So a lot of single digits. Obviously, it does not add up that much there. And the defending champions get off to an 0-1 start. So it's only week one, of course. So half the teams win, half the teams lose. In the Mish division, we have the Travelers and the Stallions, the two high-scoring teams of the league of the week, each getting a win. And we have Ray Finkel and Chioms getting, Baltimore BPE getting the other wins. So obviously very, very early in the season, and still plenty of time to go. So that's it for the update for now. Some of you have paid the dues for the Tilt app, which seems to be pretty cool. I'll address some people who said they had trouble paying. Also, someone said that the fees were a little higher than expected, but still under $2. I don't think anyone's going to complain too much about that. So use the Tilt app. Let's actually go there quickly and see how cool this app is, so we can see who the bums are and who the people who are on top of it in terms of paying. So let's connect here with Facebook. Hopefully this won't take long. I should have had this up already. Welcome to Tilt. Let's check the pool, and we'll see that 3 people, including myself, have paid. So we still have 7 people out there that need to pay. So you know who you are, obviously. So log into this Tilt app, put your 25 bucks in. It will not debit your account until everybody pays. And I'll, of course, figure out how to deal with anyone who's having issues paying. But this app looks pretty cool because, obviously, it makes things easier. No checks, no stamps, just log in, put your 25 bucks in, and go. So that's it for this week. Until next week, don't forget Thursday games. Don't forget Tilt dues. And congrats to those winners, and enjoy week 2. Take care, everyone.